So for today, we're gonna be trying a fun little spin on Affinity here. What it is we're trying to do silly shenanigans with Neoform. The idea being we've got a lot of these 7 drops that we can really play out on turn 1 and turn 2. Might as well be able to transform them into an 8 drop that gives our creatures a massive buff, trample, and then we just kill them outright. So we've got 4 Memnites and 4 Ornithopters, and then a singleton welding jar. Rather than hoping he will do something. We'll find out, won't we? But then we've got Springleaf Drum for mana fixing, a Shadow Spear and Gingerbrute, because those are great Urza Saga targets. 4 Plating, because Plating's always just a decent card, being able to just equip it if our Craterhoof Behemoth plan goes south. And then some Frogmites, Thoughtcasts, and then the top end that we talked about earlier. One thing that's distinctly lacking from this list, which is a list that I pulled from the 5.0 and then just kind of adjusted a bit in the sideboard, is that there are no 5 drops to Neoform the Frogmites into. I feel we might, if you're going to be going this Neoform route, you probably want something to Neoform your Frogmites into if you can't land one of these 7 drops. In the sideboard, what we've got going on is we've got 2 Dispatch for creature removal, because you always need some creature removal. 2 Aethersworn Canonists to help against combo and decks where they're casting multiple spells in a single turn. A singleton Metallic Rebuke, just because counter magic's always never a bad plan. And then what we've got going on is you've got the 2 Edge Champions, because having a creature that's protection from everything, pretty good. 2 Disenchants, because you should never leave home without Artifact and Enchantment Hate as Affinity, because there's lots of Artifact and Enchantment Hate that just shuts down Affinity. And then we've got some more Saga targets, just in the terms of you've got Soul Guide Lantern, a Relic, a Pithing Needle, and then a Tormod Script. That's a lot of Grave Hate. I'm not sure how I feel about the Crypt, but this list did 5.0, so we'll test out the Crypt. And then it's got a singleton Sundering Titan, because you can Neoform into it. Then you have yourself a nice 7/10. That also destroys a lot of your opponent's lands if it gets to hit. And then, of course, the big, the bad, the Gristlebrand. Because might as well, if you're casting Neoform into your Gristlebrand and have an 8/8 beatdown that has flying, and then you can pay 7 life, draw 7 cards, and in this deck, that probably means casting 4 to 5 more spells. So we'll see how we like the Gristlebrand here. That's the quick little rundown of this list. And let's see if we can't hoof some people into oblivion here. And we won the die roll. Let's go. No. This, that, you, this. 1, 2, 3 artifacts. Frogmite, turn 2. We have Thoughtcast. Sure, we can keep, and we'll bottom Plating, I guess. Springleaf Drum. Again, probably shouldn't lead on Springleaf Drum. Definitely should be leading on Welding Jar there. And pass the turn. Yes, we're doing nothing. Wandering Archaic. That'd be a fun one. Verdant. Let's see if they go Thoughtseize, take our Thoughtcast. No, they go Forest. Razor. Okay. So we're looking at... Okay. We're facing Titan here. Can we draw Citadel? See what we hit off this Thoughtcast before we cast the Citadel. That's not what we wanted to see. Attack with both. They block the Frogmite, and we get in for one. Who knows? Maybe we'll just hardcast Craterhoof, right? Hmm. There's a Saga ability. Yeah, no. It's a fun way to do it, right? Go the long way around. Come on, get in with your 0-3. What do you mean? So they can make a 1-1 here? Bleh. I really didn't want to draw a lot of lands. So we swing if they make a 1-1 and block. So they choose to not make a 1-1. They take 1. No. Let's see what happens. So 1-1 here, and then they make a 2-2 and then get Amulet, and it'll be a 3-3. And then we're probably dead to Amulet. Okay, they got Matt. You know, they don't have a lot. They don't have a bounce land, technically. So they get in for 4. We sadly have to just take that. Down to 15 we go. Well, there's our Sojourner's Companion, which I'm pretty sure is just free at this point. So now we just need... Even with a Neoform, it's not going to do a heck of a whole lot here. So they search for a land. This land's probably a bounce land. Yep. They play the bounce land. They untap the bounce land. Unfortunate that we just kind of flooded out off that thought cast. Is what this really came down to. Zeus is played. Now they get additional land drops. So they'll have 4 here? Which could lead to a Dryad. And then Dryad gives them 1 more, which would allow them to play out the bounce land 1 more time. So there's the Dryad. Oh, they play the breeding pool. I guess makes sense if they want to be able to continue with bounce land stuff. So it looks like they're not going to go swing in with their 3/3s. Makes sense. We've got a 4/4 out. And we draw Shadow Spear. I mean, we're not really going to ever beat them. But we'll at least go empty-handed and have ourselves a 5/5 with lifelink and trample. Second amulet means we're in big trouble because they've got multiple land. They've got 3 land drops. 3 additional, meaning that they can make 8 off of this 1 growth chamber. Always yield to that. Always yield to the growth chamber. So first prime time comes down. Yeah. Grabs probably the red-white bounce land. I don't know what else. Oh, just 2 Valakuts. Hits us for 12 and then has more land drops. Cool. Even if they don't have more land drops, this untaps. They give this haste, and then they swing. We've got no cards in hand. Dispatch doesn't seem awful. Yeah, another just great Blood Moon matchup. Sundering Titan seems kind of cute. Just because if they get down the Dryad, we get to blow up 5 of their lands. As far as what we don't want, probably some number of Frogmite here, just because card is not fantastic in this matchup. Shave a Frogmite, Shave a Thoughtcast, and I don't like Shaving Jar. Probably cut. Cut the Mirror Enforcer. Oh wait, we're already at 60. Like, why am I cutting another card? Because I'm not paying attention. So we cut 2 Frogmites and 1 Thoughtcast and brought in 2 Dispatch and 1 Sundering. So here's hoping Dispatch will be good enough, or we'll be able to Neoform into a Hoof or Sundering Titan quickly. So we're looking. I need to remember we basically want to try to have Thought Monitor and or one of these 9/7 drops and a Neoform in our opener. We need to remember that. Because that turn or that game, while we weren't terrible, we weren't nearly explosive enough. Granted, we also did, with our 20 lands, hit way too many of them. Ideally, we want to see some sagas. But let's see what we can do. There we go. And we won the die roll. We will gladly take the play here. So I said we wanted to see some sagas, but I didn't mean like that. It's real slow. But I think it's still a keep. Keep, bottom the hoof. So we can go this, Spire, Drum, Memnite, pass. We can't do anything with the 1 mana, but then we can artifact land cycling for Darksteel Citadel, play out Frogmite. Pithing Needle. Sure. What do you needle? Cranial plating? Okay. That card makes sense. Ornithopter. Changes our plan a bit here. Frogmite. And this costs 3. Meaning that's blue and 2. Bit unfortunate. I guess we could have, instead of casting the Frogmite there, artifact cycled for land. Probably the Tangle Bridge. And then played that, then played the Frogmite. Gives us, puts one of our 7 drops into the yard. Vesuva as a tapped copy of Saga? Sure. Ornithopter. Cast. And now this is blue and 1. Play out our thought monitor, draw ourselves some more cards. And can't play any of these because this is now just blue. This is just one. But that's fine. We'll have plenty. So a Neoform here and we're golden. This board state just destroys them. Mainly because they weren't able to produce colored mana. So this, they tap, they go get Amulet, is my guess. Yep. They play out a bounce land to bounce their Vesuva. After possibly making a token here, if they don't have a bounce or additional land drops, but they do. So now they do that. Now they get 2 more. Ooh, we're going castle and Simic. Okay. Does this and then bounces. Possibly bounces their growth chamber here because, okay, no. They have Dryad, now they replay Dryad. Oh, baby. Neoform off the top one time? Then we just abandon this plan completely and just go pop, pop, pop? Darn. Stop showing. There, like, you were talking last night that you had no idea how Affinity works. I have no idea what Amulet Titan does, and I can never wrap my mind around that deck. And I have tried. So my guess is we're dead. But we'll wait and see. So like put lands into play to get one. Yeah. Tap the Thought Monitor, play out the Springleaf Drum. Arguably we should hold it so that we can bluff removal. I don't think bluffing removal is where we want to be anyway. So they lose their Vesuva here. But they get to make a 3/3. Okay. Make themselves a 3/3. We've drawn a good amount of cards. Second okay, yeah. We're probably dead. I'm just going to make them have it. But they probably have this, and we'll move on to game 2 here. Or match 2. So there's 6 for the Summoner's Pact. Sure. Prime time. Now they play prime time. Yep. And they go get red, white, bounce land plus, or no, they just get Valakut and red, white. Or Valakut and the battle, blah, blah, blah. Words. I mean, we're not toast because the Valakut wasn't online with this cast. Like, yeah, they give it haste. It's only 6. Well, I guess if they have 2 more Valakuts here, we're toast. Yes. But see, they didn't have... I want to say most lists only have 2 Valakut. So we've got 1 shot. Oh, well, that's a Verdant Catacombs. So that'll be another 6. So that'll be 18. So it's... I can't take any damage here. Yeah. So we have to block like that. Vesuva's in the yard. Yeah, since they have the other land drop, we're dead. But hey, we force them to do it, right? Down to 2, and now they have to crack. Or they just have even more lands in hand. Mostly it's only round 1, from what I remember. Woo! We die. Where are we gonna get there? Nope. Cool. Going 0-1. Mainly because Amulet Titan does Amulet Titan things. So we've got the Neoform, but we're doing absolutely nothing. So, like, this hand is horrible. But it does just eventually get there if we can draw things. Down to 5. Okay, we can keep 5 of these. Bottom... Neoform and Aspire, I guess? We won't be able to do much. But we can lead off with a Tingle Pool. Then we'll have Saga into... Okay. Red, white. Indestructible land. That makes me think boom bust strategies. Luckily, our lands are pretty strong against that. This is a red-white lockout list. Would you look at that? Thank you very much for the sub, Fluff. I heard the alert, but I didn't see it go off. How weird. Chalice on 1 is played. That's fine. We don't have any 1-drops. Opponent, you gonna let me move into my main phase? I'd like to do that. Cool. And now we just pass the turn. Not allowed. Nope, not allowed. Definitely just a red-white lockout list. This instep. Let's make ourselves a token. Got ourselves a 3/3. This. We'll make ourselves a token. What? What are you doing at instant speed? Abrading the artifact? Cool. I still have a 3/3. And then I guess since I'm not allowed to cast things on 1, we'll get a Spring Lead from. Because who needs to cast anyway? Play out the Saga. Blue. Thought cast here. Cast a Memnite. It's 5. I'm good now with Derpy Dive for some time. Yep. Alright, there's another mountain. Karn. Nahiri. Sure, you can Nahiri, I guess. Goes down to exile the construct. Sadness. Hey, look, there's a card we can't cast. So this would make 5. Then we could dot monitor. Try to find ourselves. This pay a green. Dot monitor, draw 2. Try to find ourselves a 0 drop. There we go. 0 drop plus Sojourner. Looks like we're, unless they have exactly bust here. We gonna evoke a Fury here? Fury is sorcery speed? That's true, it's not flash. I'm so used to all of them being flash because Solitude and Subtlety are both flash. You know, Grief is only ever played in a Flicker deck, so they're doing that on their turn anyway. And Endurance is flash as well. So yeah. So like, we're gonna make a construct, then we're gonna sack probably the Thought Monitor to Neoform, and then hoof this person. Thanks, Rakdos, why you know speed. Yeah. Red, white, lockout. Huh? What do we have in our sideboard for them? I guess we'll just be bringing in Needle. And maybe Disenchants, because they might be running Stony Silence. I guess Disenchants because we know that they run Chalice of the Void. Chalice on 0 is kind of annoying for us. But yeah, so it's what? Needle in, Disenchants in. As far as what we take out, I don't know. Arguably, we could bring in Gristlebrand. Here he goes down to 1. And we pass the turn to them. You got a way to stop me from neoforming, opponent? Alright, they discard a card and draw. I guess they could also be running Wrath of God. Karn the Great Creator. That stops me for a turn, which is a bit unfortunate. Okay, we will float a mana because we can't activate. That'll happen. We'll get, I guess, Shadow Spear here. That's probably our best grab. Again, can't use the mana that we're floating. Luckily, Karn... So how much damage do we have here? 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They would be at 1, and they would have to then go empty-handed. Or we could hit them for a good chunk. Yeah, off by 1 error. So we obviously hit them. And then I guess we go ahead and we hit the Karn. Yeah, just swing everything at them and 3 at Karn. Because they can't have Bolt here because they've got Chalice. So Karn disappears. I'm not too worried about Nahiri. Because what? And Nahiri exiles my Sojourners, and then we get in for 5 because they have to play out this bridge, so that way the 11/11. That is correct. Strictly speaking, that is correct. I should have hooked up Spear second main. After unlocking all of our things, we definitely should have done that. Back up Spear to the Midnight and have a 2/2. This problem is 3 mana has to go into this bridge. And that means that they have 4 cards left and 2 mana, so one of their cards has to be a land. And then they have to have 1 drops to just throw into Chalice. Or a board wipe here. Because 1, 2, 3 and hook up for 4. Even if, so that's if they have a way to deal with the, make it so the Sojourner and the Construct can't attack. All right, Mr. Taco Farmer. Sounds good. Nahiri, they pitch a Karn. Makes sense. They can't really cast that card, and then they concede. Cool. Red-white lockout. Disenchants. Get in here. Gristlebrand, because I don't think Craterhoof. We'll leave Craterhoof in. They don't have a lot of removal. I like Needle. They don't do a lot with Graveyard. I can see making an argument for the Rebuke. But for now, we're going to leave it out. We need to just shave some things. So shave on some Frogmites. Gingerbread's nice because it's got haste. So we know that they have a Braids. So I want to keep in the Welding Jar. They don't have a lot in terms of creatures. So I think it's shave an Ornithopter, shave a Plating. It's probably actually shave. No, it's shave an Ornithopter, shave a Plating. We want 3 Platings just so that way we have it. We've got Thoughtcasts to deal with things. Disenchants, Pithing Needle, and a Gristlebrand. So that way, even if they Neoform away, or they make it so we can't use Craterhoof, we can try to draw out with Gristlebrand. Interesting. It's a bit slow to a Thought Monitor. So it's a turn 3 Thought Monitor if we can draw an artifact. But we have a hoof. I think we can get a better 6. Okay. Keep bottom the Gristlebrand. Say done. They play out their indestructible tapped land. Makes sense. We'll go indestructible land and an ornithopter. Next turn we go... Okay, so they have a cleansing wildfire to ramp themselves, meaning that they're going to try to get to Karn as soon as possible. Meaning I probably want to try to slam. So this... Drum plating? I have a hard time picking if it's plating or if it's the Shadow Spear and Springleaf Drum. We'll go plating here. Because it kind of makes them have to have a Karn. Sacred Foundry, Shaktin, Karn the Great Creator. Yep. Damn. And then they go up. Yeah. Seems pretty nice. Yep. That'll gain counter. Costs way too much. Yeah, I was hoping that they just didn't have Karn in hand. But hey, we'll let the land destruction deck play it out for a bit. That's what they want to do, right? Gonna make them show me a win condition. Worm Coil. They're one land away from a Worm Coil here. Even pithing on Karn's just not great. It's not the pithing on Karn, it's the pithing on Nahiri was my game plan. Because I really don't want them. Forgotten Nahiri can just target the Saga. So we're not getting past that Worm Coil. So... kind of don't dislike the Metallic Rebuke right now. Get rid of Enforcer. Yeah, kind of forgot that whole aspect of Nihiro. Just exile target enchantment. And your land, by the way, is an enchantment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have Sojourners if we hit a land. It's awkward that the land that we're keeping is the island. Yeah, it's always close. All right, and then this is 3. So there's the bridge. Evokes a Fury. Okay. Pitching a Stone Rain. They're going 2 and 2. I'll let the evoke happen. And we'll sack the welding jar to regenerate the ornithopter. Same net result there. Tap for blue, do this. Artifact land cycling. Get ourselves Tangle, play out the Tangle. Pass the turn. I have a hard time with the island should be breeding pool. And they have the abrade. Okay. They just decided to say no. Well, hi, Craterhoof. Brr. So the Fury and the abrade here is probably going to do us in. I guess if we draw Thoughtcast, it's like this 3-mana spell only can hit the island. Cool, you destroyed my island. So I need exactly Thoughtcast here and we can just barely play it. And now I need to try to draw straight gas to get out of this. That is not straight gas, so we lose to the Karn that they're about to drop. They drop Karn, we concede and move on. Cool. Just because we didn't draw anything good off that Thoughtcast, so we weren't going to do anything there. So is this a good enough 6? Because Craterhoof's never being cast. That is turn 1. That only gives us 3 artifacts. No. It's got the Neoform in the Thought Monitor. We'll draw the other artifacts. We'll be fine, right? They won't be red-white land destruction again. Well, they're not red-white land destruction, but they are counter magic deck, probably. Upkeep, we draw a pretty good card. Problem is it enters tapped. Get in there, Memnite. Go. Go gadget Memnite. Alright. So now they hold up counterspell for the rest of the game. So this would be 5. I like how quick that resolved. Oh, I know we have 2 in the deck and we're going to see it in every opener, right? Drowned Catacomb here. What are we doing? 3 mana to Fairy? Prismatic Ending. Sure. I consider that a win for the Cranial Plating. It ate an ending. It just has to be a Thought Monitor, doesn't it? I mean, I guess we'll take it. They don't know how it works. Yeah. Wow. So, did somebody say draw cards? Because draw cards. So, obviously, if we get to, we're going to try to Neoform here. No Wrath. But I'm assuming Counterspell. Blue, green, and Neoform a Thought Monitor here. Show me Counterspell. I can see an argument for Froggy first, but I just don't think that they're gonna do anything. Get in for 3. They got 2, draw a card. And now we cry as the Starsteel Citadel can't be used for any of our hand because our hand costs blue. But next turn we'll have Thought Monitor plus Thought Cast. Arguably playing the Fragmite there is incorrect because now if they have Wrath, we just don't commit to this board at all anymore. Watery Grave tapped. So, like, we play the cranial plating, forces them to have counter magic, or they die. I'm assuming that they have counter magic. Let's see if they go for the counter tap. Considering that they didn't do that last time, they probably won't do it this time. Although this time it's a bit more damage prevented. Okay, they're just going to counterspell it. That's fine. Swing for 5. Alright, they take 5, go down to 9. Second main, we'll cast a Thought Cast to see what we see. We see some pretty good cards. Swamp. They're still missing out on... So... I honestly don't think we Neoform here. I think we play out the Springleaf Drum. And just combat smack them for 5. Snap Cryptic. Counter. Draw cards. Tap team. Probably. Yep. Tap and draw. Makes sense. They don't want to take 5. So... Second main. Play out another drum here. And they've got 5 in hand. I'm too scared of a Wrath effect. Keeping the Thought Monitor here allows us to play around them wrathing the board. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, sure. And draws a card and untaps. Gets in for 2, that's fine. So this makes it so they have to have Cryptic. Razor Tide Bridge, huh? We'll play it. Beginning of combat. Let's try to go to combat. Nope. Alright. And this will be tap your team, draw a card. Yep. I mean, eventually they'll just not be able to do that, right? In theory. Can't the weather decide. There's never a good time, right? So they brainstorm. So Esper control, huh? They're at 16. They've got 3 in hand, or 6 in hand. I'm betting that that's counter magic. Saga here is pretty decent, right? This gives us another threat that they kind of just have to try to answer. Go ahead. 5 p.m. It's hot, but lower UV. Yeah. There's the tap and draw. So let's go ahead and try to draw ourselves some more cards. At this point, they opt, sure. I already know what's on top. Top monitor, we draw 2. Okay, well, at least those are no longer on the top of our deck. Delta, they go down to 7. Which means we have lethal if we ever get to attack. That's a funny joke. Teferi's ult is 8, so we'll be all right, I think. This is game 1, so we don't really have anything main board. But we'll want Disenchants and Sun Titan. Arguably Gristlebrand as well. Eight cards in their hand, though. Second Jace. Okay. And they draw 3. I'm gonna say that puts them 1 card deeper. No, only 1 card deeper. They get to untap 2 lands. Clean up, they have to discard a card. Kaya's Guile is what they had to discard. Green, green, green. We have enough mana to just hoof. I think we try to Neoform here to bait the counter. And then we'll have the Saga next turn after that. Neoform. Undo how I just paid. Because I can do this. Neoform. They're gonna have to counter this. They choose to just counter like so. We're not afraid of anything that they have. They can block with their Snapcaster and take 2 less. We're fine with that. They take 3, go to 4. Arguably, they'd be at 2 if we didn't Neoform. They're gonna push a Memnite? Sure. Damage happens, they go to 5. And they're dead to the Urza Saga token. I need an answer to that card. Down to 4 they go. Triomes found. Draw a card. Opts. Draws with Jace. Make ourselves a token. It's a 12/12. Are they going to push the token? That's fine. Token will be pushed. Super Sights token. They have 6 cards in hand. Yes, we lose our blue mana. I know. So the problem is this Teferi's gonna hurt. Let's just do this. Make ourselves the token. So we have the token for next turn. This will go and grab. Do we get Gingerbrute here? This might be Gingerbrute just for another hasty threat. We'll grab Shadow Spear. Play land. Plating, make him counter it. Yeah, they have the snap. Snap Cryptic. We go and tap the team. What's this Cryptic doing? Tap all creatures your opponents control and counter target spell. Oh yeah, no, we're getting hoof. That part's definitely happening. We're just gonna tap our mana. This is in main phase. They tap our creatures, and they got to counter. Neoform the Thought Monitor. Show me another counter spell. Add the Archmage's Charm as well. That's fine. We'll just hoof you next turn. Whip to an Ornithopter there. And pass. I guess it doesn't really matter where we equip because this is just going to be Ultimate Teferi. And then draw 3 with Jace, exile, construct, the Shadow Spear, and something. You're assuming that they target our lands. I'm taking a guess they probably hit construct spear because they're scared of trample. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Zero drop off the top. They've got 5 cards in hand. Don't tell me this is... Oh, gosh. Okay. Now we lose. Because they draw, they exile another thing. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a zero drop off the top here to be able to cast Hoof now. Damn. All right, green, green, green. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and give that to them. Yay for blue mages being able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We fought through 8 counter spells. Yeah. 8 counter magic. Hard to deal with. Sun Titan and Disenchants. I know I want Rebuke. Maybe? Ear Enforcer, Frogmite, Plating. Plating we want in. We want to be a low. Their effects are going to be exile type effects, not destroy effects. So get rid of the Welding Jar. Need to get rid of one more. I don't like the Sun Titan. I do like Gristlebrand though. That. We have a Frog. Bring in Disenchants and Gristlebrands. Problem's going to be if their hate is Kitaki instead of Disenchant, we get blown out. I want to take that risk because I really don't want to bring in Dispatch against a control deck. Doing the die roll, we will gladly take the play here. Hand's got lots of draw, but is slow otherwise. Mulligan. Keep this bottom Aspire. Lead off with Tanglepool, pass turn. Because that means we get to go Spire into Plating. Cool. Let's see how many prismatic endings our opponent's going to have. Wasn't expecting to draw just plating after plating after plating. But hey, we'll take it. They opt, sure. Colonnade. This we draw Tanglepool. Means we can do that into a Thoughtcast. We find ourselves a drum. Neat. We're not doing much here. One, two, three, four, 5. Plating would make 6, meaning we could go plating into Thought Monitor. Probably Thought Monitor gets countered here, though. EE on 2. Well, incorrect, opponent. You pop that EE right away. So Disenchant seems like a fun card. Do we like the threat of a 4/4? Or the threat of a 2/2 flyer? I like the 2/2 flyer. There we go. We get to draw some cards. We get to... Oh, look. We actually just get to play that tapped and then cast this guy for free. Nice engineered explosives, opponent. We're not going to equip because I want to hold up Disenchant in case they have a Stony Silence. They fetch with the Delta. And they shock. And they blow up EE. Yep. Goodbye, 2 platings. Hello, plating number 3 next turn. Damn. And this is why I like Emery. This, you... That plating suited up. Give ourselves a 7/2. It doesn't have haste. But we'll at least hold up Disenchant. Sweet. We get to try to connect. I'm assuming we don't actually connect. But we get to try. Paying costs. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Then make a 1/1. Cool. Memnite. Equip the Memnite. That's the turn. There's a spirit getting in. Sure. Makes me think that they have another Guile. Upkeep, we draw a Thought Monitor. Pretty nice one to draw. I'm gonna go ahead and play it out. So Craterhoof would only be +1/+1. I'm assuming this is getting countered. Snap. Snap Guile? Okay. Taking it, sorry, I don't get to connect for... Or attempt to connect for 8. Sure. Guile gets exiled. This is resolving. We're drawing some cards. Okay. That Shadow Spear we can't play out. So we'll just equip and have ourselves a 10-2 flyer. Hold up Disenchant. Okay, so Rockin' Stony. Okay, swing with just the snap. We'll take 2 all day long. Hoping they do something stupid like tap out. Blue, black, Snapcaster to Dam. Oh, I made it clear who plays Snapcaster nowadays. Yeah. I tapped strictly wrong to do this. That's fine. We have a 12-3. They now arguably don't want to swing until they can deal with it. They get hit for 2 in the air constantly. They go for the opt. Makes sense. Did not like the card. They put it on bottom. Fracturing Gust. So that is their hate card. We're going to go ahead and destroy an artifact. So that way they don't gain as much life. They still gain a good amount of life here. They get in for 6. We go down to 11. Go ahead and get in with the Ginger Brute. Like anything's changing, opponent had E on 2 to get rid of 2 platings, and then a overloaded Dam to get rid of a good board state, and then a Dam to deal with a board state, and then 2 Kaya's Guiles. They just had a lot of removal. So are now just sitting on a dead Neoform and waiting on them to eventually kill us. Because we know that's happening. Eventually. It's a fairy. Yeah, no counterspells this time. Just a bunch of removal. Welcome to what Esper does, right? Is it's just counterspells and removal deck. And they get in for 6. We take it, go to 5. Did the 15 card swap? I doubt it. Evan, no. Don't get me wrong. Esper's a good deck, but I just absolutely hate playing against it when I get to do anything. I know you've been here the whole time. For the other person, Evan. It doesn't matter. What is their planes? Looks to be a Moto exclusive. I don't know though. It's neat. So we do this. If they try to remove the ginger root, we gain life. It's the jump start. Ah. Your opponent sacrifices a creature. Too bad. I'm going to eat my food token. That's how you know. Ah, makes sense. So we're at 1. We've got a Neoform. That does us no good. Oh, Colonnade. Yeah. Colonnade. I forgot that was a land that they had. 0-3 power play. Yep. If only, right? All right. And we die. 0-3. Not only 0-3, but we've only won 1 game so far. Hammer time is the coward's man's affinity. 0-2, 1-2, 0-2, 1-2, 1-2. Probably. 1-3 games. So we can't really keep this. It's way too land heavy. We can keep this though. Bottom, probably Neoform. Leads off on Saga. That has me so concerned. Razor Tide Bridge tapped, pass. Because it means that they don't care about the Saga tokens. Yeah. They don't care about the tokens, so it's definitely Amulet. Yeah, Pro Red. That Crusader, Phyrexian Crusader. It's a very nice card. Especially once you hit it with a Snakeskin Veil. Turn it into a 3-3 instead of just a 2-2. So 2 mana, 1 mana. This, 2 mana. Okay. I was just mathing out if I could play out both, but and a Saga, but I can't. I have to do it this way. Looks like we're facing just the Naya Titan deck. Where's Fran? I need him. Need him so that way he can tell me how to pilot against this deck. I mean, this Shadow Spear. What? Okay. Yeah, I have a Knight of the Reliquary. And then endings, a Memnite. Cool. All right. Just gonna hit land after land. Another night. Flood hype. Another night. And we got themselves some 3/3s. I'm assuming they sack the flagstones here, get themselves 2 lands, have 2 lands in the yard. They just have some 4/4 blockers for a bit. We're both just going to kind of awkwardly stare at each other as neither of us wants to really attack into one another. Yep. Thoughtcast. That is not a Thoughtcast. Play that out. Play that out. Pass turn. We're not going to swing our 2/2s into 3/3s. Believe it or not. What? Oh, there's no land that shuts off lands, is there? No, but they could, I guess, get Vesuva. Have to pick a flagstones to keep. They get a plains. Well, yes, but I can respond to Field of Ruin. You know what I mean? That's a nice Ghost Quarter opponent. I'm assuming that's a Ghost Quarter targeting my Urza's Saga. That's a Pithing Needle. How about no? I would like to make ourselves a 7/7. Do they still needle the Saga? They do. And then they ending the token. Makes sense why they then needled the Saga. Oh, and they're ghost courting their own lands, or they have 7/7s. Okay. And they have mana to float, or they're floating mana, so they get to equip Shadow Spear, smack us for 8. Lifelink and trample. Yep. So it was just going to be a big fun game of massive beatdown. Has become, they run Needle mainboard. Down to 12 we go. This, I'm just going to concede. Because, yeah, we get to go get something. Our 2/2s aren't beating an 8/8 and a 7/7. Disenchants, I want. Dispatches, I want. They don't run a lot of artifact types, so Sundering Titan's not where we want to be. Bristlebrand doesn't seem bad just from the aspect of it's a flying lifelinker. As far as what we want to cut, probably Enforcer, some number of Frogmites. I like bringing in Pithing Needle. We need the shave cards. Assuming they're going to bring in artifact removal. I don't know what we want to get rid of. Memnites probably aren't connecting. Sure, Memnite shave plating. There you go. I would love to play first. Not keepable. Somewhat keepable. So we bottom the hoof. Turn 1 is just a jar. Turn 2 is just a shadow spear. It's too slow. This we can keep. Well, I say we can keep. It's only got 1 land. And we can't actually use that 1 land. Yo, internet, stop. Internet, stop. This, we have to bottom the hoof, bottom, I guess, the plating, and have 0 artifacts. There we go. I have to try to just eventually draw out of it. Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. Well, now I need 3 artifacts off the top in a row. Let's go. Easy peasy. I meant castable artifacts. That. So now is when they go and hit us with the great. Okay. They didn't hit us with. I thought they were going to hit us with a good old. Trying to make a light beer grid. Have fun. Thought they were just going to smack us with a stony silence and end our day right then and there. Our day's still over. Me or Evan? EDH win? I'm always down to co-stream fluff. Just hit me up in Discord. Fall Guys. Both. Can't do anything here. We're just going to lose. EDH win. I'm down for whenever. Just let me know. My schedule's somewhat flexible. I just need to know ahead of time and I can flex. Yeah, I already pre-ordered all 4 from one of my local game stores, so we'll have plenty of pre-con. There's a Dryad. So these dispatches are looking real good if we ever were going to be able to cast them. Where are they at? It's... I would call the LGS and make sure that they're picking them up. Because I know the one that I frequent actually didn't have any pre-orders available for it. So I had to use a different LGS. Wow. Wow. Just drawing all of our hate. Can't even... So there's the first one. And then they do this. They get 2, which will give them a Valakut trigger. If they have a second Valakut, that's 2 Valakut triggers. And then they can use their Wooded Foothills and smack us for a lot. Yeah, 104.3A is looking about right here. We've got so much hate, though. Oh, that's another fetch land? We're just dead. Right? Because they get to crack both of those. I'm making sure that they crack that fetch land. Down to 1 we go, and they crack the fetch land. We will concede. I am sure that they have a plains. So there's the Citadel, which would have then allowed us to disenchant the Dryad. There's an island. Man, hand looks great. And then we seem to be missing something. Opponent wished us good luck and to have fun. Hopefully we will be able to do that, opponent. Yeah, the commander precons are a bit on the expensive side. They're $40 plus tax, so. Yay for Wizards of the Coast winning money. Dragon Rage Channeler. I now regret my decision of wishing them good luck and having fun. Tanglepool Bridge, Memnite, pass turn. Next turn we have Springleaf Drum into Frogmite. Ideally we hit another land and we can go land, Springleaf Drum, Frogmite, Thought Monitor. Assuming they don't have removal. They have removal. They're blue-red. Ooh, double channeler. We're in trouble. This they fetch. Got themselves blue and visions. Nice. No removal. We might actually be able to pull off a turn 2 Thought Monitor here. Delirium won't be online for now. Dragon's Rage Channeler and Magmatic Channeler? Okay. That's a bit excessive. Here's that. They don't swing with their 1/1 because they want to turn it into a not 1/1. That was an interesting lag spike. Springleaf, Frogmite. This is only 5. Turn our Memnite sideways. Offer the trade. I know they're not taking it. I mean, the simple answer is just call your local store. See if they have it. The problem is I know that a lot don't like to do the non 150 because then it leaves them with a bunch of mixed product because they have to buy the displays. Well, they liked the card on top. So we're in trouble. All right. We take 6 down to 14. Land off the top here wouldn't be awful. More specifically, an untapped land. There we go. So now the question is, this costs blue and 1. True. So we could Thought Monitor. Or we could play... The problem is they've got mana for counter magic. I don't like that they have counter magic. Try to resolve a Thought Monitor. I'm assuming this is going to be counterspelled. Gee, I wonder how I knew that was going to happen. It's almost like they broadcasted that to broad daylight. And then they like the card that's on top. They counter our Thought Monitor. And we are stuck quite a bit here. Maybe they swing out. And we can get them with a resolved plating. We need them to swing out and tap out. We take 6 down to 8. Sulfur falls into... They've got 2 cards left. Expressive Iteration Surveilling. I put Sprite Dragon into the bin. Then they like the card. Now they're going to iterate. Thought Scour is what they exile. Okay. So that is 2. Good luck. This is 2, and then we could try 2 for the plating. 1 after the plating. Yeah. The problem is I don't... If they're going to be countering a spell, because they're representing counterspell with a double steam vents, I'd rather them counter the 4/4 and then counter the plating. Because what do you know? They indeed had the counterspell. But this way, when we draw the Neoform next turn, since we're not dead on board, we'll be fine, right? Yeah. I was gonna say, we're in the hope they don't have bolt, hope they don't have removal category. This is fine. They had the bolt. All right. So, Dragon Rage Channeler. Dispatch isn't terrible. Canonist isn't awful. We knew that they had it. Canonist doesn't seem awful. I know I want the champions for this matchup. So Canonist just kind of is a removal target, though. I'm not a fan of bringing it in. I can maybe see an argument for Rebuke. I think it's just a dispatch in the champions, though. Maybe a Gristlebrand. I don't know. Anyway, as far as what we're cutting, plating, Ornithopter, Memnite, Frogmites. What about? There we go. I would love to play first. We've got the Neoform. We've got an Ornithopter, and we've got a plating. The problem is we can't play out the plating on turn 2. We have to mulligan that. Keep this, bottom the hoof. It's not a great keep. I thought it wasn't available for them to sell until Friday. I guess can you sell it early during pre-release time? I don't know. I no longer work for an LGS. I no longer care. I was gonna say, I know that you can sell the product. I just didn't know that you could sell the Commander Precon stuff. Interesting. Neoform. Yeah, well, you can't sell singles because only sealed stuff. So I want to keep the companion, but we can't cast that. So we're just kind of stuck sitting here. That Neoform was like the worst draw for us. I wonder if that means I could go pick up my stuff. Imagine they'd call or text if it was available. You want to talk about awkward cards? So, I hate doing this, but we kind of have to, don't we? And just artifact land cycle the Sojourners so that we have a land next turn. Do that, and then next turn we'll have champion. Or we could try to Thoughtcast into... Nope, Thoughtcast is 2 mana. So if we hit a 0-drop... Awesome. Glad to hear, Fluff. We'll take 1, go down to 19. Limiting 1 precon per person. That's understandable. Go ahead and play out the Etched Champion. This is probably eating a counter spell. Yep. How's it hoofing? As you can tell by the record, we're not. We have not actually been able to resolve Neoform into hoof or hardcasting hoof. We have attempted it multiple times, but we have not been able to resolve it. Pretty sure our one game win was just because we went aggressive. Down to 18 we go. It's been put on the stack. Yes. Alpine Moon. Nice. Gonna name Urza's Saga so that way I will never play that land that we only run 4 of. That whenever they do this, we never see. Alpine Moon. See the Urza Saga name. Look at that. Card off the top. What do you guys bet? Hey, it wasn't the Saga. Tap like that. Thoughtcast. Come on, it's just letting me draw 2. What do you mean you want to counter my draw? And then we're a mana short. It's nice. Sprite Dragon, not a bad one. Into... Why? Why? Brings in Alpine Moon and Engineered Explosives. And is just running Counterspell and Archmage's Charm. And they do this, and now they blow up on 0. Blows up both of our Ornithopters and Midnight. Wait, you're gonna let me block? Okay, you're just sequencing in a weird fashion. 110 in games. Hey, there's a craterhoof. Yeah, 110, I think, is what the record will be with this deck. Before declared blockers pop. Yeah. So, Hooffinity. Cute, but not good. It's a neat concept, but I don't think it's anywhere close enough. Right? I'm surprised that there are multiple versions of this that have somehow managed to 5-0. Well, yeah, most of the time with a 5-0 list, even tweaking the sideboard a little bit, I'm able to get a game, if not 2. This is cute. Yeah, apparently you just have to jam it enough times. I guess. The problem is, what are the right hands? Because I kept mainly hands that I'd be keeping in Affinity for the most part. And those didn't get us anywhere. And I've also kept a couple hands where we're trying to do Neoform stuff quickly, and that didn't pan out either because we didn't have the artifacts for it. Opponent, kill me. Drop drum, draw spell. But you see, you can't 0-drop drum. You need another 0-drop. Yeah, I was gonna say you basically have to keep hands that are an Affinity hand and draw cards to the point where you then draw your Neoform to kill. Okay, you basically need like Darksteel, drum, 0-drop, 0-drop, thought cast. That's your turn 1. So you're down 3 cards. Effectively. You played out 5 and then you drew 2. So you have 4 in hand. The turn after that. Anyway, we're dead on board. Yeah. So 1 in 10. Taco Farmer, which was, I want to say, was the red-white lockout. Yeah. Where we didn't even really aggro. We just kind of smashed face slowly. And they didn't do anything. And for 3, 3, 8, 14. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've done well with actual Affinity. But Hooffinity, it's fun. It's cute. If you want to try taking it to a Friday Night Magic, it's a fun little strategy. It's not a list that you can expect to do well with overall. But it's a fun idea. I'm not going to say that there's something here. It's just a cute way to change it a bit different than what you're doing in Affinity. That being said, if you have the rest of the cards and you want to just have fun for an FNM, pick it up. But if you're looking for a deck to main, look elsewhere. That's what I'd say. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all next video.